Hi, thank you for watching the Library Communities Vote informational video. This project was created by ALA Emerging Leaders Group E and sponsored by the Government Documents Roundtable and Social Responsibility Roundtable. First, let's meet the team and learn why each of them vote.
Hello, my name is Kelly Bilz and I use she, her pronouns. The reason that I vote is to secure a better future for my communities and to have a voice in that future.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Castle, and I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the Instruction and Engagement Librarian at Tennessee State University. I vote because people before me have died for the right to do so. I vote because my rights as a woman continue to be at stake. And I vote because it is my responsibility.
My name is Amanda He. I use she, her pronouns. I am the librarian for STEM instruction and engagement at New York University. I vote because it is an opportunity for me to have a say in the future of my community and hopefully create positive change.
My name is Hale Polebaum-Freeman. My pronouns are they, them, theirs, and I'm the first-year outreach librarian at Williams College in Massachusetts. I vote because I believe that reciprocity is key to engagement. You have to give to receive, and giving my time and attention to voting is a small contribution toward the support I hope to receive from my communities.
Hi, my name is Tadena. I use she, her, pronouns, and I am the Community Engagement Librarian at Austin Public Library in Austin, Texas. I vote because I believe my voice matters, and my vote can be a powerful tool for creating positive change.
Now that you've learned who we are and why we vote, I'm going to turn it over to Kelly, who will provide an overview of our project.
This is Kelly and I'll be going over the project description. Our project involved creating template signage to provide accurate and relevant voter information for all types of libraries. To do this, we surveyed librarians to identify their needs and developed an automated poster maker.
This is Laura, and here's an overview of our approach to survey design. So, our group knew that we needed a clear understanding of the varying needs of the different types of libraries. The first thing we did was identify our research questions. Using a collaborative design approach, our team began listing out all the questions that we thought we should ask related to the following themes: what should be included in the toolkit? What are the attitudes and beliefs around civic engagement and civic literacy? And what are existing needs? Next, we collectively designed the survey. We did this by intentionally prioritizing the user experience and accessibility. We also divided the survey into informational sections. We built in time for peer review of our survey and then revised the survey based on that feedback for improvement. Finally, we shared our survey with our library network. We did this by identifying the different library spaces that the team had access to, and then we identified gaps in our distribution list. We also shared the survey with key community actors who then shared the survey with their networks.
This is Jennifer, and I'll be discussing the definitions we used in the survey. It was necessary for us to provide definitions for civic literacy and civic engagement, as they provided a point of reference for ourselves and the survey respondents. We defined civic literacy as the knowledge and skills to participate effectively in civic life through staying informed, understanding governmental processes, and knowing how to exercise the rights and obligations of citizenship at local, state, national, and global levels. Individuals also understand the local and global implications of civic decisions. For civic engagement, we defined it as the active participation of citizens in their local government and community. It is essential to democracy, giving citizens a say in how their government operates and community is shaped.
This is Amanda. From our survey, we received responses from 150 library staff. 59 came from academic libraries, 82 from public, 3 from school, and 3 from special libraries, with representation from 37 states and Washington, D.C. 84% of surveyed library staff felt confident in their civic literacy skills, and 94% reported feeling confident in their ability to locate voter information that is relevant to their communities. The majority of surveyed participants felt that libraries should play a role in supporting civic literacy and civic engagement within their communities. However, only 40% reported their libraries provide programming to increase civic engagement. Of this report of 40%, 70% of these votes came from individuals working at public libraries. What are some of the issues impacting library communities and their ability to vote? The top 3 issues selected to most greatly impact communities are 1. Voting requirements, 2. Attitudes towards voting such as disengagement and mistrust of the voting system, and 3, misinformation about policies on the ballot. With these issues in mind, we wanted to know, what can we do to help? What were library staff interested in doing, and where can we help to fill in some of these gaps and needs? From our survey, 77% of library staff expressed interest in planning programs, events, and/or displays related to voter registration and turnout. 72% were interested in attending a webinar or training or reading an article. 69% were interested in bringing in an outside partner. When provided a list of potential resources, 77% were interested in getting voter information from vetted resources, 75% in instructional materials on civic literacy, 74% in sample civic engagement programming, and 72% in graphic or poster templates.
This is Hale. We knew early on that we wanted to create a tool that would help library employees connect their communities with relevant information to empower them to vote. We decided to work on a tool that would be useful for a variety of applications, including libraries whose communities include folks who might not have access to or experience with web-based information. What we came up with was a poster-making application that uses Google Workspace APIs in conjunction with Google's Civic Information API to find and format voting and other civic information specific to a geographic location. API stands for Application Programming Interface, which is a set of definitions, rules, and procedures that can be used to build and integrate more complex applications. Using Google Apps Script, which is an open source programming platform similar to JavaScript, we were able to connect several different Google Workspace environments to create this tool. Here's a summary of how it works. Librarians or library employees fill out a Google form that collects information about their community and that community's voting information needs. Information from that form is stored on a Google Sheets spreadsheet. The submission triggers a function written in AppScript that uses the geographic information provided to collect relevant voting information using the Google Civic Information API. Answers from the form also determine how the poster is designed. The voting information collected from the Civic Info API is delivered to a second Sheets spreadsheet, and the arrival of this information triggers the function that places this information onto a template poster. This customized poster is copied to a new file, which is shared with the librarian via email. The librarian is then free to share the poster either through printing or exporting as a digital file.
Now I'll share some recommendations for future emerging leader cohorts. First, engage more with school librarians. Next, explore opportunities involving APIs within this tool or perhaps within GODORT's own tools. Next, provide venues to share civic programming. Then, develop tools to advocate for civic programming. And finally, broaden our approach to civic literacy and engagement by including topics like paths to citizenship, local journalism, and more.
Thank you for watching. A special thanks goes to the Government Documents Roundtable, the Social Responsibility Roundtable, and our emerging leader sponsors.